Okay, folks, good morning. I'm with Harold this morning. I'm in my favorite engine room. You know why, Harold?
Why is that?
Because it's not stand-up, but it's pretty dang close. You know, for one of these old 40-year-old trawlers, this has got the nicest engine room. And today we're going to change the thermostat in this motor. I don't know if anybody's following the videos on this Bristol 42, but the other day we changed, Harold changed all the coolers, the transmission cooler, the heat exchanger, and the oil. And then we decided, because there was a little contamination, we said let's change this thermostat out on this motor. So that's what we're going to do today. So right now we're just pulling this. You see Harold with the wrench down there. He's going to take these two bolts off right here. We'll take this riser off right here, or the where our right here, this is where the coolant is stored. We'll take that off, and then we'll get going. Harold's getting ready. You're leaving here pretty soon, aren't you, Harold?
That's our hopes.
You got May 19th, and whether you go complete the loop or head up the East Coast or what you're going to do, you don't exactly know yet. But yep, you got to just take those two bolts off right there, and this thing should pop right off. We removed, he's taken the hose clamps off this hose, and then we took this hose out right here. We drained our antifreeze into the bucket, and now we're ready to remove this piece right here and put our new thermostat in.
It's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's a pain. Nothing's easy, is it, Harold? What? So I want to show you a close-up. It's these two bolts. There's a bolt here, and there's a bolt right here on the other side. These are the two bolts we're taking out right now. That'll take this off, and the thermostat is sitting right in this housing right here. So I got the two bolts off of here, and here's our thermostat right here. We just pop this bad boy out, and we just put the new one in, and we should be good to go. Just clean up this surface right here and clean up the surface underneath here, and we should be able to put this new thermostat on. While I'm got this all apart though too, I'm gonna grab some paint, because I know Harold's got a little touch-up paint, and we'll do a little cleaning up here and do a little bit of paint behind this thing while we got this all apart. So now that we got the thermostat completely exposed here, all we do is just pop it off. That's it. Karen can hand me the new one, but I'm gonna wipe this area off and clean it all really good. And then we'll just put the new gasket on there, and we should be good to go. Harold should be good. You guys can see we put the new thermostat gasket on, and so now we just set this back in place, tighten up these bolts right here, and that's it. It was a pretty simple process. All right, guys, so I'm putting up the last little bolt, tightening this bolt. All right, I think that's good. My two bolts here, this one and this one, and then so I got a little bit of paint work done up on the back side of this thing. And now we just put our hose back on. Some people were asking, why is this hose like this? And this is because you have to remove this hose right here to change the belt. So we always put these extra belts on here for anybody that's curious about that. So now we've put the new thermostat in there. So I didn't show you guys the actual new thermostat in there, but I just cleaned the two surfaces really good. Put the gasket on there that I got from, that Harold got from Brian over at American Diesel, and we put the new thermostat in there, which is a 170 thermostat, 170.6. And then we'll just throw the antifreeze. We got our bucket here with the antifreeze that we caught, and he may have to add a little bit more. And then we'll start this thing up, and everything should be fine. We should see temperatures on his temperature gauge of 170, right around that 170, 75, somewhere around there. So anyways, it was a simple job. It was probably easier than I was even thinking. But we got it done, and this is one more step for Harold and Karen leaving, heading, because you guys are going to think about doing the loop, right, Harold, Karen, now, or
yes,
or East Coast. You're at least heading up the East Coast.
We're going
right?
up the East Coast.
Yeah, and then you'll see what happens from there. But taking care of this cooling system here in port and getting it done is super important. So this particular engine has new thermostat, all new coolers. The only thing we did not change on this one is this water pump right here, but he would just keep an eye on this weeping hole right here, and if he ever sees a problem with that, I mean, that's something he can change down the road, and I believe he does carry an extra one of those with him. But everything else on this cooling system's done, and these don't just fail neither. These water pumps right here, they usually show signs, and that's through the weep hole, and it usually gives you a month or two or even 6 months before it actually completely fails. So I'm confident that he's done everything he can for these cooling systems, and we'll see Harold, now that he's polished the fuel, done all this engine work, he's not going to have any problems when he's out there sailing and doing America's Great Loop. Guys, so we got the new, we've got the back on, we've got the new thermostat in. Now what we need to do is have Harold start the engine, and then we'll finish putting the antifreeze in here. We put the old antifreeze back in here. We just had it go into a 5-gallon bucket. Probably add a little bit. We lost a little bit down in the bilge, not too much. But we'll go ahead and start it. We're gonna need that thermostat to open up, and then we should be able to finish bleeding the system, put the radiator cap on, and then check for any leak. The only leak we could possibly have is probably somewhere right around there. And then our 2 radiator hoses we had to loosen. We had to loosen this radiator hose and that one right over there. All right, Harold, go ahead and start her up.
Starting the starboard motor.
Starboard motor.